Hey, what's up, fam? I just figured I'd do I want to do one more live stream, just kind of getting into things before I started to do this with my schedule plan that I want to do, that I talked about, because I want to get to where I can have a set time at least where I do live chats for sure. And so far I'm thinking that being Friday or Saturday, to kind of wrap up the chapters that went on during the week, anything that really transpired worth having a conversation of. And obviously this week it will be Eden Zero Chp.6. We had Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest, Chp.3, Black Clover 167. I like that one especially. Well, it was the most recent one. I liked what they did with Raditz a lot. I think he's a really interesting character. I really like his backstory, and I hope that he doesn't get switched over as quickly as he potentially might to join the Black Bulls, But there's always the slim chance that these characters are going to be brought to a nicer side of things, you know what I mean? But for right now, it's all speculation. Everything right now is off of speculation. Just sending out some links really quick, and then I'm gonna try and get more talkative towards things, more in a discussion of anything that went on. Maybe if anybody else wants to, talk while it's happening, maybe tell me anything that they want to discuss that happened during the week. There's a couple things actually that I looked at that I aren't related to these. Some of the Dragon Ball stuff. I was interested in some stuff going on in Boruto. And just kind of like large general stuff that we could really go over. I'm just waiting for seeing if anybody shows up for this stream. If no one shows up, then I'll just call it good, and then just and I'll find something else to do. Maybe just end up scheduling it better for later. Sorry, I need a drink. I don't know if anybody heard that. Really though, right now I'm trying to stall until at least there's I'm hoping to get at least 10 people here and then start talking about anything that happened for chapter wise, which obviously there was a bunch of good stuff that happened, a bunch of really good stuff, a bunch of potential stuff. We can go over some theories, we can talk about some other chapters, because the last one I just kind of rambled. See if we could have a more structured conversation this time, something that is more fitting to what's going on, really. Otherwise, something I did see this. I'm just gonna off topic, and just things in general until I decide to start going over the chapters. I saw that James Gunn, they're trying to get him back in as director to Guardians of the Galaxy. People are trying to get him back in, like the cast. I don't know how I feel about that. Dude's pretty creepy. I don't know. I feel like he probably shouldn't be on a Disney movie if he's making all these jokes. Just left him up. Probably should. I don't get why he just didn't delete him years ago. He had so much time to do it. Didn't do it in time. Got himself screwed up. But I don't know. Good job, dude. Idiot. Really, I think I feel like right now it's really shitty to be in Hollywood. Like, there's so much unfortunate garbage that's been like kind of swashing around. I feel like it's just a bad place in general to be. Does anyone have any conflicting opinions? Anything to add to it? Chapter series, what are you talking about first? I'd probably talk about it. I think the Eden Zero one probably first, just because there was definitely a lot that happened in the Fairy Tale chapter to talk about. There was a decent amount to talk about in the Black Clover one, but I wanted to start with one, either Eden Zero or Fairy Tale first. Probably Eden Zero. I'm curious of where they're going to go after this. I don't think they're going to stay in the past. I think they're going to end up taking Weiss with them to the future. The fact that I don't know, maybe he might be dead in the future, so they won't have the problem of him running into himself. But we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I don't think they're going to stay in the past too long. Whenever they beat this guy and figure out what's up with this weird lowly robot and whatever's going on there. For right now, Right now I want to see what Weiss does. I want to see what his fighting style is and see like what he does kind of like combat wise. You know, he's definitely he's definitely got an array of potential. The fact that he's going to become this genius level inventor and like scientist. Whereas he is right now, I guess we don't know what his status on all these things really is at the moment. I think he. I was talking about it in another video. I want him to kind of have like a Blue Beetle, like or nanotech Iron Man suit kind of thing, where he invents things on the spot, different weapons, you know, for different purposes. Because I liked Musica and Gray's like kind of variety, centering to their powers for Musica's. I think I said a Haru. I meant Musica and Gray, as is you know, Musica's Silver Clammy and Gray's Ice Make. You're gonna do a face reveal. If I was ever gonna do a face reveal video, it would definitely have to be at a significant number. Like I just started like 2 months ago. Face reveals are usually like a big thing. And I feel like if I do it too early, it'll ruin it all. If I ended up getting to like a big number, I probably would. I don't know if I want to do it at the number I'm talking about. Right now we're just talking about Eden Zero right now, Andre. Just kind of going over the potential of Wise Steiner, and where I would like him to go. I was saying like I kind of like how Musica and Gray were more variety type fighters, more centered around what they could kind of do just by thinking and imagining. And I'd like that to be with Wise as well, but with his like tech side to it. So he's like inventing different weapons. You know, instead of something like Gray, who could make like an ice platform to jump around, instead Wise could make a jetpack or something. You know, that'd be pretty interesting. Plus, he could, with his tech side, he could actually do things like advance Shiki's ether gear, and it's throughout time, and advance Rebecca's, you know, happy guns. There's a level of support he could really play into things, and kind of have this really cool tech, like blacksmith, kind of like, you know, you have the guy in your ship in some video games like RPGs you always go to for like weapon upgrades. But Vilia, yeah, I'm curious about her. I don't really know what she's gonna do right now. Oh yeah, to be fair, the Fairy Tale 100 Years quest does have way more hype. There's a lot more stuff going on. We haven't gotten far enough within Eden Zero to really get that same feel whenever something gets revealed in Fairy Tale. But with Eden Zero stuff, everything's still really fresh. It's still at a point where you don't know the level of hype you should get. Like we get something like, hey, this dragon guy is like sitting watching them while they're off looking for a dragon god that's like on par with the main villain of the series up until now. You're like, oh shit. But you know, we get someone like Sibber or this lowly robot, and you just like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this. It's something. It's definitely something. I think a trap fighter would be cool. Like, Andre, do you read Black Clover, don't you? I don't remember if you do. Because the guy right now that I'm using as the background in Black Clover, his whole thing is he fights with traps. I don't remember if I know you. I see you all the time. I like my Eden Zero and Fairy Tale stuff. I don't know if you ever comment on my, at least off the top of my head, my Black Clover videos. I'd have to check. But this dude Zora, he fights entirely with trap-based magic. He's all about setting stuff up, setting up strategies. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him. He's definitely a standout within Shonen. You don't get a lot of like smartsy strategist style kind of guys. You get most like power attackers and stuff, you know. One second. But with I'm kind of wondering as well what we're going to get from Rebecca in the long run with her guns. Is she going to get different weapons? Is it going to slowly turn into a mech suit? You need to read Black Clover then, Andre. It's good stuff. Especially this dude. This dude's awesome. If you'd like it, I think you'd like it given what you if you liked Fairy Tale and Eden Zero, you'd probably like Black Clover. I'm just trying to Just an impromptu live stream, just kind of talk about stuff. Just waiting for my laundry to be done, see if anybody was interested in and coming to chat, saying hey, maybe do a little rough, a little bit of a rough kind of like chit chat before I start like doing theories. I'll do probably like 2 theory videos between now and Friday. I'll try and do at least 2 before it gets to it gets to that live stream I'm talking about when I get on Friday, Friday or Saturday, where I kind of want to go over the chapter events throughout the week for pretty much everything, mostly any of the manga that I read throughout the week. Kind of, talk, and anyone have any other theories, any criticism or praise that they had towards something, maybe something that I read that I think people might like, you know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool to supplement reality with data. That I think Rebecca. The thing with Rebecca is we have no idea what kind of thing she could get like end game. Like with Lucy, you knew like okay, she's either gonna become like a really good summoner and just like a vague idea maybe she'll summon really powerful stuff. But with like Rebecca, it's like I don't know, maybe she'll become Diva from Overwatch. Yeah, I've been thinking of a couple Black Clover theories. Obviously, I've been very preoccupied with Fairy Tail and Eden Zero. I'll probably do a Black Clover theory. I might do one tonight. I have some stuff I want to talk about. It's like if you notice, everybody in the Black Bulls really has. We know something about them, other than the vice captain that hasn't been revealed yet. You know something about their backstory aside from Charmy. I want to talk about Charmy. I like her. She's fun, but she's also very powerful. Pretty interesting character. Yeah, we do need more 100 Years Quest stuff. Like, 100 Years Quest is good. Like the characters, it's fun to see the characters active again. We're seeing it in a fresh new land. All these really cool stuff. And I really like it when Hiroshima has has one of these other writers draw it, and then he gets he'll write out the plot, and then these other guys do like, all right, go from there, figure out what you want to do, just make sure these things happen. And so then you get things like Ice Trail when you got cool stuff like that river, that big river with the big monster that lives in it. You had the Black Fox. You got a bunch of really cool stuff that added on to the world, and it wasn't just it was from other people's kind of minds and perspectives on top of what Hiroshima has laid out. It's an interesting take on the whole thing, and that's what I really liked about the spin-offs, and we're getting more now. So I'm wondering where exactly we're gonna go further. You know what I mean? Where we could progress, where we could continue onward. I don't really want him to do other planets. I don't want to get to that alien thing. I'd be fine with like alternate universe stuff. I'm not Mexican, Yorm. Stop it. Plus, I said if I was ever gonna do a face reveal, it would have to be at a pretty big number to where it actually mattered when I face revealed. Face reveals are like when you talk behind a avatar, a face reveal is worth something. People like it, but which Magic Knight squad do I want to see more focus on? Let me think. Actually, I would really like to see the green mantises, because we don't know much about them. We've got to see a little bit out of the main ones. Got some of the Crimson Lions. We got some of the Silvery Eagles. We got a little bit out of the Golden Dawn. And the other ones that we haven't got anything about it, we don't really know too much about. Like, we know dick nothing from Dorothy. Yeah, we don't know much about the Blue Roses. The only person besides Charlotte we have is Soul, but I like Jack the Ripper. I just think he's cool, and I think his power. I would like to see more of what a Magic Knight Order under this kind of like crazy on the verge of being a slasher criminal, like kind of runs. I'm not Mexican, Kyobi. Don't believe him. Stop it, Yorm. You're supposed to be my friend. You're a bully. What a cruel, cruel figure. Viciousness. Oh my. Oh. Obito does in fact solo. He's I heard Obito's the coolest guy from Naruto himself. Naruto himself said the guy who murdered his parents and turned him into an orphan said he was the coolest guy. But luckily Obito is king of the cucks. He is king of the cuck master race that Fusion seems to have cultivated into himself. Nothing says take over the world and put everyone into a eternal coma than my 13-year-old crush died. Sally, I think Sally could. So Sally could join the Black Bulls. Let me talk about that real quick. So we got the whole thing with Raditz, Valtros, and Sally potentially, now being in between sides. Raditz, I don't want to switch sides. I want him to stay independent. Not only because I don't think it would make sense for him to switch so suddenly, but he has the potential to be his own arc villain. I'm way behind on Soma. Like, I stopped reading Soma like 3 years ago or something. But anyway, I get distracted. Valtros, I don't think Valtros can switch. If Valtros switches sides, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd be in the Black Bulls. I think that he would push more towards like a large scale. Just kind of works overall with the Night Orders. Sally, I think, could join. I think she's the only one that if she joined up, it would make sense. I don't know necessarily if I want her to. I'm a little bit on the fence with Sally, but I think hers would make sense. But I don't know if I trust Eleftheria. Eleftheria, he seems a little bit shady, but it might just be. I was suspicious of Anna a bit too when she showed up during the end of the Alvarez War. During the whole confrontation with Acnologia, I was very suspicious of her. I thought she was going to end up being the villain. I don't know, something about her just kind of seemed off, but I don't know. Apparently not. Seems alright. She seemed fine overall. And I think she hooked up with Ichiya. I don't think it was confirmed, but it might as well have been confirmed because it only makes the most sense. Makes the most sense. Eleftheria, I want to see. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I'm suspicious of that too, Kyobi. But when the whole thing right now about the oh god, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Oh yeah, there's something I realized that we're in chapter 3. We haven't really seen any magic from any of the main team. Like when Wendy used her Sky Dragon breath, I was like, I don't think we've seen Natsu do shit. We haven't really seen Lucy, Urzo, or Gray really do anything like magic wise. And obviously it's been all set up right now. I want to see a small fight. I want to see a little bit of a battle, a little bit of a confrontation, so we can kind of get a feel of where everyone's at before we immediately go into like fighting one of these water dragon god or one of these dragon gods. This water dragon god specifically. I don't think the guy at the end of the chapter is the water dragon god. I think he's associated with him. He might be one of his subordinates because I assume that all of these dragon gods are going to have their own posse. They're all going to have their own little crew. Let's be like the thing I think about is his horns don't look anything alike. The water dragons, he seems to have one. He looks like he's one big like jagged like blade shaped horn in the middle of his head, and this dude has just like two ribbed kind of hooked horns that kind of go around. Alright, Celestial Guardian keys. I thought, what's up, New Dawn Horizon? I thought a good power up, or not a power up. I thought something more for Lucy that they could have done is they could have also included the Chinese Zodiac, which would have been cool, and they could have had a cool Chinese Zodiac dragon. Could have done some stuff there. It's not a big deal they didn't. I thought that was potential though. Marileona, have you not watched my video? Marileona is tied in Black Clover for my favorite character between her and Zora. Marileona is awesome. I was very pleased with how her character's been. She's probably, I think she's best girl to come out of Weekly Shonen Jump. I don't think there's another chick in Shonen Jump that I'm so enticed of just watching do stuff. She's badass, she's hot, She's smart. She's pretty cool. Like she's all arounded, but she's not like I'm a Mary Sue. I'm good at everything. It's like no, she's definitely got flaws. It's just she's fucking really cool. So yeah, that's what I was saying, Andre. I want to see this water dragon god like do some crazy shit. I want to see him just like fuck with the ocean, and then people back in like Fiore are like, what the fuck's up right now? Why are we having such bad like such bad ocean like currents that you could see it from like on their country, even though they're a continent away. He's controlling this much water, like controlling this much space of ocean, this depth. I want to see something like that. That'd be really cool. I think that'd be really interesting to just get like a little feel of how strong these guys are, and then kind of push towards like we should probably do something during this arc to get more powerful so we can fight these other dragons. I don't think any of them right now are strong enough to fight them, even as their team. Because even if something I thought about is because Natsu to beat Acnologia, but obviously he didn't beat that with his own power. He had the 7 Dragon Slayers, like all their power put on top of him. But with all like the Natsu team at full power, like all of them at 100%, if they all put their power into Natsu, and he got that same level of power he used to take down Acnologia, I don't think that it would work on these other guys, because they also had motion sickness, which is, if you remember, like motion sickness, like for a Dragon Slayer, puts them like a tiny fraction, super tiny fraction of what their actual power is. What do you mean keck, Larry Jones? What are you kecking at? If the water dragon, no, he said that Elisari said that dragon gods were crowned gods. I don't think they're like literal like gods of dragons. I think it's kind of like Dragon King, but these guys are dragon gods. Which makes me wonder why Acnologia didn't go with God. I don't know. Maybe that's well. Which one did he say? I don't know. I like Kyogre. He's a big whale. And he's not as cool as Groudon. Groudon with his big rake for a tail. But I don't know. Kyogre I always thought was alright. I really like Gen 3's legendaries. Just getting sidetracked and putting it out there. I think Gen 3 has some solid legendaries. Real solid Pokemon legendaries. But I keep getting distracted. But where was I? I was trying to fix something. Shouldn't have what? New Dawn, what are you saying? I don't know. I got completely sidetracked to what I was talking about. I don't know. Oh god, what was I saying? I was talking about oh yeah, the water dragon dude. I hope he does something badass. I want to see him like make maelstroms and make like multiple mile tie tsunamis or something. Something that really kind of like says like, yeah, these guys are big shit. No one fuck around with them. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully but I want this guy that we saw at the end, this dude with the horns, to be like a acolyte of him, maybe like the priest, because they said they worship him as a god. So maybe he's got his own like little crew that does offerings and stuff. Maybe he trained under him. Maybe he's a dragon slayer himself. You might get some more dragon slayers in this series, and that's something I'm looking forward to. I am hoping that we get a couple more throughout this. Maybe see a couple different elements. Maybe see some weird ones that don't really fit into the elemental standard. Yeah, the Guardian of the Sea. Kyogre versus this dragon. I hope the dragon ends up being like that powerful. I want to see him like fuck with like whole oceans. Come on, I believe in them. I believe in their ability to make, super OP characters super OP. But I want to I don't know, what else would we talk about? But did you guys see that This is gonna be spoilers for anyone. Has anyone seen the news that came out about the Broly movie? Apparently, let me double check before they say this in case I end up being incorrect. Let me just double check this. Something about the who's gonna appear in the Broly movie, since they apparently decided to go more than just Broly canon for it. Wait, uh-oh. I think it might not be canon. I don't know, was I lied to? I'm trying to check. I'll just say it. Somebody said something about Gogeta being in Broly movie. And finally being fully canon. I want that to happen. I really like Gogeta. Like I said yesterday, Gogeta is much cooler than Vegeta. A million times cooler. Maybe even 2 millions. It needs to happen, Larry Jones. He's awesome. I'm assuming 50 chapters for the spinoff. I'd like more. There's definitely a whole lot of stuff. I could do one on Ether Gear. I think I figured out how it works. I want to see other Ether Gear and see other like weird control abilities with it. I think that would be pretty cool. Or maybe they're all gravity. What if they're all just gravity? Or all gravity, and we just have a bunch of gravity fuckers running around. I'm wondering if I want to know what Shiki's first power up is gonna be like. What his first like enhanced form will give to us. I'm hoping he has ranged. He'll have more ranged attacks, maybe. Maybe he'll gain teleporting or something. Broly's alright. I think Broly's cool. Definitely when it comes to like movie villains. I liked Janemba. I thought Janemba was really badass. He's got that sword. He looks intimidating. He's got that weird like movement ability where he turns into like pretty much like Legos. And he just like disassembles, moves somebody else. Well, no. So it's New Dawn. They're not 100% immune. It's like a high resistance, and then there's the fact that Dragon Sling makes it so they can hurt him, and he was drastic. You got to keep in mind also he was drastically weakened by the motion sickness. Like it made him like probably like 100th of his actual strength. He was probably, if it wasn't for that, I don't think he would have been able to do shit. He didn't have the chance to it. He went to block, but the dude's like 400 plus years old, and out of his whole life, one of his years, he lost his arm, and he's probably not used to it. I want them to do a way to resurrect him. I would like there to be a Acnologia resurrection arc, slowly happening in the background. Just give him that boost, give him that real return. I really like Acnologia. I thought he was a cool guy. I'm waiting for his backstory to show up whenever the anime returns in, what's today? It's now August? I think it comes out in October. 2 months? 2 months until the anime comes back. I thought it came out next month, but I guess not. Well, I guess there's too much stuff lined up in a row to really have all these things at once. Do you think they trust her? No. Talking about Toka? I don't trust Toka. She seems fishy as hell. Toka seems like she's got some shady shit going on. But I already said I think she's a dragon. I think she's definitely a dragon. I don't think there's I think there's too many kind of things put together. I had another thing that I thought about her, but I don't know if that's his. I don't know if they. I don't know if it would make as much sense as her being a dragon. That's what I'm trying to say. I got completely messed up. Eileen surpassed Wendy. Yes. Eileen now? No. Will she? Yes. Wendy's OP. Like people forget that. Like I think she's 15 now. Should be 15, 14 or 15, and she's like S class. She's got Dragon Force that she could use on her own for pretty decent length amounts of time. You know, she was able to do like high level enchantment and like match Irene in some areas, she's pretty strong. Like she could easily become like the strongest person. Well, no, he can. He'd be able to eat the magic out of Urza's swords, but her swords wouldn't be able to. Uh, her swords wouldn't be able to do damage to him. No, because his dragon he's still durable as fuck, Andre. He would just stand there and be like, yeah, whatever, get the hell out of here. Maybe, uh, maybe. Toka is Toka is definitely the oddball in here. One second, I'm just sending a message. One second. One more second. Alright. Favorite villain in Black Clover? The hard problem with that is most of the villains right now are people from the Eye of the Midnight Sun, and they've been reoccurring. But if I had to pick somebody out of there, well, Raditz is probably the pick, because I like his power, I like his backstory, his personality. I also I liked Vito. Vito was pretty badass. If I had to pick, the problem with oh my god, the problem is in I like most of the villains. The only one I think I don't really care for is Ludros. I thought he was pretty generic and bland, but that was pretty much what he was made to be, as a bland villain for them to fight and beat up. No, Andre, I don't think it would. If Irene's meteor wouldn't do shit to Agnologia, so a big rock, unless they're dropping the moon on him, then I don't think he would even pay attention. I don't know if you've seen like how fast her meteor went. I think it's lowballed at like Mach 15,000, given that it came from deep space, like super far away, like planets distances away. She should just have. I mean, Agnologia should have no problem. Just like if they dropped a big rock on him from terminal velocity, he would like not give a shit. Probably shrug it off. Whereas they would have to, yeah, make enchant it to be a Dragon Slayer rock at terminal velocity. Then you got him. Then you got him on lock, and he's fucked. So something I noticed is that there's a lot of people that complained about the whole thing where Wendy enchanted Urza's sword, but it makes sense because she learned all this new enchanting stuff by watching Irene, right? And we learned that dragon slaying magic in itself is a type of enchantment in a way. So anytime that she's been buffing people, she's been putting dragon slaying magic on them. Really, I mean, come on, it makes so much sense when you look at it from that aspect. There's a lot of stuff that makes more sense when you look over it as a series, and you're able to piece things together. What do you think, people? What? HappyBot, I think he'll become a. I'll say the next thing I think he's going to be. The next thing, I think he's going to become a grenade launcher. There we go. Or like a plasma shotgun. Something that's going to be more like a heavy damage. I think that'd be cool. It's like a sawed-off shotgun. Cat shotgun. Perfect weapon. Never in the stars was it designed because it was believed to be too powerful. Alright. I don't know. This is a pretty decent impromptu live stream. I hope people show up for the one at the end of the week, because that's the one I really want to make a long one and kind of go over everything. This one I felt like doing another one before that, just waiting for an hour for my laundry to get done. I'll probably be on here for another 20 to 30 minutes. Just kind of checking, figuring stuff out, answering questions. If you guys have any questions for me, just feel free to ask. It's 7 right now. We got way more people yesterday. I think it's because I planned it better yesterday, and I gave out more of a word beforehand. Plus, yeah, Umbrella Guy's still streaming, so he's got a bunch of people in there. I know there's a couple people from there that show up and say hi. So I hope Larry Jones is still here. He's a hero in my book, that Larry Jones. Larry Jones is a champion. He might be the nicest guy I've ever met. I'm hoping though with Burn the Witch that we get to see like Bleach stuff much later on. I'd like to see Adult Ichigo as like the head captain. I think that'd be super cool. Like, get the hell out of the way, Kiraku. Put in Ichigo. Let Ichigo be the head captain. Let him run around and be the boss. Maybe we could finally figure out what the hell his Bankai does. Right?
What?
It's a possibility, Andre. Yeah, I'm hoping that something else. I got distracted. Apparently it's been hinted at. I swear they need to make sure that Gogeta shows up for the movie. That's all I gotta say. Even if he's there for 10 seconds, I just want him to be in there. I did a Burn the Witch video. Mercenary, did you not watch my Burn the Witch one? It's on there. I think I got decent numbers. But where is what am I looking at right now? Let me find something. I wanted to talk about also some series that I'd recommend. Let me pull up one. Let me pull up one and then see if you guys are interested in it. It's a classic. Well, I guess it's not classic because it's new, but it's definitely something to poke at. It's pretty entertaining, pretty fun for a new series. I really like series that do something really weird and silly, and then just take it into a absurd level. I like it. I haven't seen any. I've only seen the original, but I liked the original Beyblade series. I haven't seen any of the ones that came after it, but I rewatched it a few years ago, and it was surprisingly entertaining. 1 second. This is the one I was talking about. Let me just pull up a picture. I'm trying to find the perfect one to really use in this. So I'm scrolling through it really fast. Just mash button stepping to figure out which picture I should use to kind of give the best. Here we go. Just use this one. This will be pretty entertaining. To use as the background for this kind of presentation of this series that I would like people to check out. Hold on a second. Let me save the picture. I'll slide it up on there really quick for a minute or two. All right, let me add an extra image onto this. Image 3. Where is it? Oh, I think I put in pictures in general. Did I? I did. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Let me put it up there. It's called. Yes, all the characters are named very oddly. The main character is named Wang Tang Chang, and it's literally about like high stakes claw machines. It's pretty funny, and like I said, I like stuff that takes a very odd topic and turns it serious. That's one of the things I liked about the one shot for Build King. If anybody's checked that, I talked about it a little bit yesterday. But the guy who did Toriko did a one shot called Build King, and it's all based around like homes. But I can't really describe it too well being as all the shit that makes it ridiculous. Like, I don't know, just check it out. Just look up Build King. It's still a one shot. I don't know if they're going to announce anytime soon if it got a serialization. I remember Golem Hearts had a one shot in January of last year, and then it got serialized in October. Promise Neverland. I think Promise Neverland has a lot of potential. I'm waiting for it to get further ahead before touching it again. I just I find it hard to believe that the couple kids are gonna fight back against these monsters that were equal to the combined might of humanity, and they don't have any powers or anything. But obviously, I I don't know the future of the series. I don't even know if to make a lot of speculation. So I'm gonna wait for it to get ahead, probably like a year, and then I'm going to get back to it. But I'd say there's a lot of potential in there. I don't like the dude's art, and I can deal with weird art, but I don't know, his looks chunky. Anyway, back to this Wang Tang Chang. It's really entertaining. The main character is she just gets into high stakes claw machine battles all the time. I guess she really just likes to collect stuffed animals, and in their world, it's pretty much life or death all the time for shit like this. You can win like anything from claw machines. You can get like houses and like people, jobs. It's a really ridiculous series that there's no way that a normal person would have been like, it'd be a really entertaining series for me to do as a profession. I'm gonna do a intense crane machine fighting series. I would love for this to become an anime. I really hope it does. It's such a ridiculous concept. It's perfect. Perfect to get some attention. Hey, broke the 10. Hello. Does anyone have any questions? I've been rambling on for a few minutes. I was talking about this series I'd recommend. I'll put a link to it afterwards, but definitely if you like really weird, funny stuff, throw that on there. Give it a attempt. It's only it's only 4 chapters in right now. It does that like 4.1, 4.2, 5.1, 5.2 shit, and then gets back to like within the series, but it's pretty much in. I mean, it's pretty much it's like 8 chapters. I think 8 or 7 or 8, some number. But check it out. It's definitely one you could kind of like read all of within like 20 minutes, and then get caught up, and then figure out if you want to ever follow it. Ships of Black Clover. Charlotte and Yami probably. I don't know. Vanessa and Yami. She's got some competition. Charmy and everybody actually. Charmy ships with everybody. She's like ketchup. Charmy's a true hero. I want to know what they're gonna do with Gotch one day. Like, he's cool. I don't know how long they're gonna keep the sister complex thing of his going before it gets tiresome. One of the things that's good is they have all these kind of like weird personality things, but they switch them out enough that you don't get drowned out by anybody. But I like Asta a lot, so I don't know. I don't feel anything bad towards him. Most of the people that I think talk shit about him are people that don't actually read the series. Personally, I think. I mean, there's some that read it that don't like him, but from the majority of the people I've talked to that do read it and do follow it, like Asta, I think he's a good main character. I enjoy watching him go through all this stuff for an arc before the Avatar arc. Wait, what? It would have to be after, and I don't think it'd be filler. If they decide to add anything between Avatar and Alvarez, it's gonna be the Dragon Cry arc. They'll just take the movie and turn it into a small arc, probably like 10, 15 episodes, and then move on. Maybe. We don't know though. It'll be cool if they do though. I want to see it on the show. Extend out some of the fights. I think pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for the anime. I think it'll be a lot of fun to get back to that. I was upset with the Avatar cult. I liked Briar. I thought Briar's. Oh my God, it's Cornrow Kenny. Wow. Yeah, I liked Briar. Asta. He's just loud. I don't find. Thing is, I don't think Asta personality-wise is annoying. I think he's just loud. Like, that's it. I get more upset with Deku than I do Asta because Deku just cries a lot and he's kind of whiny. I mean, it's not his fault. Because he originally was a pussy. I think Wendy could easily be Wendy could easily end up as a one of the top people in the world for sure. She's got a lot of potential, and she's a very likable character too, which is good. I want to see I want to see Wendy get like a spin-off that isn't a silly shoujo. Like she had the blue minstrel. I don't think it was minstrel or minstrel. I don't remember. But I want to get one where it's more serious, where she's like battling people all the time instead of doing like cutesy stuff. I want to see her like the guy who did Nejimaki Kagyu. Oh god, I fucked that up. The guy who did the Wang Tang Chang, the series I told you about with the intense claw machines, did a series called Nejimaki Kagyu, which was it's probably the best female-led fighting manga I've ever read. Solid. I want there to be a next generations. I know people don't. There's a lot of back and forth of people that don't want next generations fairy tale. I would like there to be what I think is Seven Deadly Sins. I think this first arc was solid. I didn't like the second arc. I thought it fell off really hard for like 2 years, and then the third arc kind of was wonky, continued into being wonky, and then got good recently. I think it got picked up within the last like month or two with the whole thing about Male Starosa. Before that, I didn't really I didn't have much faith in this series at that point, and then they had some cool plot twists, and then I felt invested again, and then they've kept steady since then, which is good, which is very good, and I've been happy since then, since the whole reveal with Male Starosa, as I like to call him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, it originally was like Starry Fire. I think it'd be like a solar dragon, like a star dragon. That'd be pretty badass. Star Dragon, Nashi, Luna, Nancy, whatever they end up going with. Wendy is Moe bait. I mean, I don't know. Wendy isn't put in that like weirdo lewd Japanese lolicon position a lot. Favorite arc in Black Clover and Fairy Tail. Favorite arc in Fairy Tail is definitely Tartarus. I have a deep affection for Mardgear. He's one of my favorite characters in the series. The Tartarus arc had a bunch of good stuff. You got to see Kana actually do something. You got to see the whole thing with Gray and Silver. You got to see Lucy's sacrifice of Cory as his key to save everybody. You got a lot of really solid stuff within the Tartarus arc. Plus, a lot of people don't think about it. The Tartarus Guild weren't really villains. I'm gonna save that for another discussion eventually. But anyway, no. So hang on. So that's one of those things where it makes sense if you think about it, because she didn't have her five senses, but she could still feel pain. So you'd be able to feel where you're going and what you hit. Like if you're just walking and you have the same level of pain, but if you hit someone, that contact, the level of pain would still be there. I do say that it. I didn't like how it was. I don't like. Oh, what's up, FIFA fan? I don't like Urza's like vagabond armor, because then she ends up going from the knight to being the vagabond. She uses it all the time. I don't know. Favorite Black Clover arc? Water Temple. It's between the Water Temple and the current one. The problem with the current one is Asta hasn't really done anything. It had like the little scuffle, and then you get to see like the cool thing of him fighting next to Yuno, but they haven't got to that. We haven't got the arc in a whole, but I'll go with completed arc. Completed arc is probably the Water Temple, because it was so solid the whole way through. Hiccup to bit. Sup, FIFA fan? How you been, man? I don't know. The whole thing about the Urza fight with Kyoka, the only thing that really bothered me is that she wins most of her fights in that freaking in that stupid vagabond set. I don't like. Yes, don't worry, FIFA, it's coming. I'm working on it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to sort out before I put it out. Slots in Celestial Spirit King. I think he's cool. I want to see a Celestial Spirit Queen dress on Lucy. That'd be pretty sick. Make her way more powerful. Put her up to snuff with some of these Spriggan level individuals. Spriggan and above. I don't think it was a sixth sense. I think she was literally seeing by pain, and she was kind of just like feeling where she was going and what she was making contact with by like how much stuff hurt. So Godspeed. Was this something during when temporary? I assume so. I assume it was temporary. So the thing about that though is that was temporary, but he could master his Savage Dragon Fire and get fire that can burn frickin' time and like concept shit, which would be pretty OP. Do you think Key's become Hockey of Black Clover? No. So the thing about Key is very specific. Key is very specific. It has limitations, and it's set to a very specific way to use it. It obviously can't get enhanced, but its enhancement really kind of has a it's really just kind of like sensitivity at that point. Hockey is just like Oda was high one day. He's like, I know what I'll do. I'll make a power that you can hit Logias with, but I'm gonna make it so your body turns black when you do it, and I'm also gonna have like some mind reading, future telling power, and then I'm gonna have like a will flex. Like there's the thing about Hockey is they don't seem connected, so it's not like a power that branched into three different ways. It kind of just seems like three powers, and they all decided that they're Hockey. And some guy with bad naming skills. Accent. Well, I do have a technically. Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't have an accent, but obviously everybody has an accent. It's just like nobody thinks they have an accent because their like default is the way that they sound, and like the people around them, like where they grew up. You know. One thing for give me. Well, the thing about it is, it's shonen. Like if you read a shonen series, you're like, man, I hate that they talk about friendship in a fight, and then it gives them that last push to where they're able to power up, take out a villain, and win. Stop reading shonen then. That's just part of it. I mean, it's really depends on how it's executed. Yami's Past, yeah, we'll get more Yami's Past. I think they'll eventually go to the Land of the Sun in Black Clover, because Tabata has definitely set up that they might go somewhere. Because he talked about it, like when he showed the map of the Clover Kingdom, the Diamond, the Spade, and the Heart Kingdoms. He was like, oh, they're also only on one continent. And they showed like a grayed out area, the like area connected to it. We know that the Land of the Sun exists. There's places that we could go. Yeah, QHB. There's some stuff that's definitely you have to know throughout the series to really get, which I kind of like. Honestly, that it's like, well, how would I even know this? Like, well, assuming you actually read the series, you would actually know it. You're not just gonna jump on something and be like, let me figure out this whole setup instantaneously. Trump versus Natsu, they would become friends. Clearly, Natsu fights for his friends, Trump fights for his friends, but all his friends are all of America that are law-abiding citizens. I hope no one gets mad that I like Trump. Don't worry, I won't hate you if you don't like him. That's fine with me. I want to see the Diamond Kingdom. Like, I wanted them to go to get to that arc and see like all these other battle mages. Because the thing about battle mages is they're in Fairy Tail, a battle mage is like 1 in 5. In Black Clover, it's like 1 in probably like 10 to 15. Yeah, thanks, FIFA fan. I don't mind if people don't agree with me on things as long as they're not rude about it. I try really hard not to be a dick. For no reason. Like I like banter. I'll talk a little shit just to get some banter going, but I don't want to be just a douchebag for the sake of being a douchebag. No, they'd get along. He'd say you don't seem like a very bad guy. Both of them get a lot of bad press. If you remember, in the Weekly Sorcerer, they used to always talk shit about Natsu, and they would bring up only the bad parts. On my Axel? No, I don't know who Axel is. They would only bring up the bad parts. They'd be like, "Hey, you destroyed this port town. They destroyed the Hargian port, like, and like fucked up these boats." It's like, well, yeah, but they also stopped a human trafficking ring. So, like people would be like, "Hey, Trump, you said something about, you know, about how a bunch of groupies will let uh, like famous people grab them wherever, and you should feel ashamed." And then it's like, yeah, he said something once a long time ago, but it's not really relevant. Yeah, let them fix your economy for you and raise up jobs, whatever. Be a dick. But whatever. I don't want to talk about politics. Bakugo versus Natsu. I don't know. Bakugo has gone from being a bully and a douchebag to just being a grumpy tsundere. But I talked to you yesterday. I like Bakugo for the sake that he's got a really cool way he uses his powers, and I really like that Blood Knight archetype where they just really want to fight people. Because usually the Japanese like treat those guys like actually I think a lot of fiction treats those guys like shit. Like they don't give them the due justice like that a badass character like that can be. Like they just want to battle, and Bleach got it. Luckily we got Kenpachi, but look at someone like Jackal or Zenkro. They didn't get the love that they deserved, especially Zenkro. Man, he didn't even get. He shouldn't have died. Oh my god, killing him off was such a bad mistake. I'm not Mexican. Quit it. How long am I gonna stream? I don't know. Probably another half hour. Because I was just wanted to stream until my laundry was over. I'm still testing stuff out for right now. Probably 20 minutes. You don't expect Bako to win? No, he couldn't. Nobody in My Hero Academia could fight Natsu. That's best female in Bleach. Give me a second to think over the list of chicks. If I got to keep it, I'd probably pick a Neliel as an adult. I liked her character. Obviously, post being the little girl, like then she returns, so she has that like silly, playful personality in her big badass kind of state, like how she was fucking up Ichigo. I thought she was awesome at that point. I like Neliel. She's great. It was a shame they didn't do anything with her really in that last arc. They didn't do shit with Gribjow or Neliel. Like, why even bring them if you're not gonna do dick with them? Yoruichi is cool. I'm forever salty that Kubo decided to have Yoruichi and Urahara have kind of like a potential ship, and then did nothing with it, like ever. Like, why the fuck? Come on. I know it will come, but I really want to. So I don't think that's a demon in his grimoire. I saw someone make a theory of the anti-magic spirit. What I think it is kind of like how you noticed. So the whole thing about the elves is the elves are very loved by mana, and we already saw that once they get to a degree of being like fucked up, they kind of get twisted. And there are theories of demons being pretty much elves that kind of fallen into depravity. So there's a potential that when they get to a degree, they get hated by mana, so they become anti-magic, and it's pretty much the most magic-hated or mana-hated person that's in that grimoire to where anti-magic exists. Lucy or Nami? Nami literally became GPS. She has. I don't have played Bleach Brave Souls. The only phone game I play is Power Rangers Legacy Wars. That's a really fun game, and they do like an update. Like they put out a new character like every 2 or 3 weeks. Like they keep on the ball with that. Like they just did a freaking. They just decided to do like a Street Fighter crossover, and they brought Street Fighter people into the Power Rangers game, and they're like, how can we make this even more interesting? So like, hey, let's have Ryu get his own like ranger suit. Like, I don't know. I checked that game out. That game's fun. I haven't played too much of it recently just because I'm trying to replay Hollow Knight on my Switch. Happy or Chopper? Happy. Chopper became Chopper. The thing about between Happy and Chopper is both of them are kind of like the cute mascots, but Chopper was originally had a bunch of cool power and potential behind him as also be a fighter, but that all got thrown away. So he annoys me in that aspect. Elsie, I don't know. I want to see Elsie do something before I really get much of an opinion on her. She's just kind of somewhere. She just looks cool and has a badass ship. We don't know. We don't even know what she's really like. We don't know what she's doing all this for, which kind of puts me in a little bit of a bind of anything about her character. I really want to know what these other so you don't cornrow. Plu is the actual main character. Plu is secretly the main character. Which you were to dislike the most? Like, I don't want to start talking shit. I don't want to hate on people, especially since I've only been doing this for 2 months, and I think I've been doing pretty well for myself. I already somehow got an enemy who screws with me all the time. And he won't leave me alone. I don't need more people having beef with me yet. That is. I don't want to talk shit about people yet, especially like that I just started this. I don't need no beef. I don't need beef. Anyway, well, hang on a second, Cornrow. If you want to say Plu in Rave, not the knockoff on Fairytale, Plu originated from Magician, which came out before Rave Master, so Plu in Rave Master is a knockoff of the Plu from Magician. Suck it. Anyway, I want to know what the dragon's types are. We got one that's water. I want at least one that's like a weird type, like I said, like something like space, like a weird dimensional dragon, or like a hell dragon, and it's just like all this crazy shit. And we have like, well, you have to go find this last one. It's like, where is it? You have to go pretty much all the way underground into like the molten crust, where there's pretty much hell or something. Something really cool. I don't know. I try not to be toxic. Have I said anything that's toxic? I don't think so. Grand Magic Zone to see next. I'd like a underground arc. I want to see like deep underground, so I could see like big open caves and creepy monsters in the dark, and there's like big crystal creatures. I think an underground arc would be cool. Underground, like this Magic Zone arc, that'd be best. No, Corno. Plu, it's Plu. Read Magician. Magician was Hiromishima's original one-shot. She came out before Rave Master. The thing about Reggie Ice not being able to melt, he could still take damage. And he's still weak to fire. He would just pass out. His opinion on Sting and Rogue. I don't know. Sting. I like Sting when he was kind of this, when he was more like, I want to one-up Natsu. I would have liked that if that pertained complete state his personality. Like, he seems fine. Rogue, if they never do anything with that Rogue Shadow, like, side piece, I'm going to be annoyed because it doesn't make sense. Like, when you get that part, right at the end of the Avatar arc, where it shows, like, his shadow's darker, and then it kind of, like, becomes normal. It wouldn't make sense for that just to go away, considering Future Rogue said it was with him pretty much always, and it's always been there. We don't know too much about it. I don't know, I think it would be dumb if we don't get anything from him. You know? I was expecting that to be who fights... That to be who fights, what's it's called? Genma. There we go. The Sabretooth Guildmaster that defected to Tartarus. I always thought that was going to happen. It never happened. Do you think Fairytale? Yes, it is overrated. So a lot of people, I think, like to hate on stuff just for fun. Well, no, hang on a second. Friggin' Hyobi. Fairytale's not a Jump Force because it's not from Shonen Jump. It's from... Well, it's not from... yeah, it's not from Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump Force is Jump stuff from the Jump Magazine and Company. Fairytale is owned by Weekly Shonen Magazine, which is a whole different kind of group. Yeah, anyway, Fairytale I think is overrated. It's the same way I think that... I think people just want to pick a target. Same thing, like, My Hero Academia fans will hate out... Well, hate on Black Clover, even though Black Clover handles a lot of tropes that much better than My Hero Academia does. My Hero Academia's formula is very much more predictable. I don't want to hate, because I do enjoy My Hero Academia. I just like Black Clover more. Do you think that Noelle should get training from Mill? Yeah, definitely. I'm waiting for that to happen. That'll probably happen after this. They can work together and kind of get into a stronger position. She's gonna be OP when she learns how to control mana and magic without a wand. She should get like a staff. World's Strongest Magazine. In the background, picture of Whitebeard standing there reading. Yeah, I don't know. Top 10. I would have to think for a while to do a top 10 like that FIFA. Maybe eventually. Eventually, just give me time. I don't know. I think My Hero Academia is alright. I'd say it's above average. It doesn't have any of those one of those big capturing arcs though is a problem that a lot of stuff does early on. There's nothing really in it that I get like I look at it to be like one of the arcs to really like way later along the series to be like, damn, did you remember that? Like you had like the Sasuke retrieval arc for Naruto and stuff like that. Like that's when you think about Naruto, you'd be like, damn, you guys remember that shit? That was crazy. Best fairy tale arc. I told you Tartarus. Tartarus is my favorite fairy tale arc. It was supposed to be longer. It got cut short, apparently, from the editors. It was supposed to be a big chunk longer. I wish Hiroshima expanded it. He just kind of like held his ground. I really like the Tartarus arc. Super Saiyan 4, definitely, over Blue. That's no question. Super Saiyan 4 is a much better design. I think it's cool that the Super Saiyan forms are progressing, and now it just feels like Super Saiyan God. Oh, well, what happens if Ultra Instinct doesn't work? Oh, I'll just go Super Saiyan 3 with Blue on top of it, and then combine Kaioken times 20. Yay! All these power stacks to where you can just do all these combos now, and then it's like, what does that work? Alright, we'll fuse and do the same thing. Hey, I don't like Super Saiyan Blue. The only thing that I liked in Super with these power-ups is that Goku's strongest forms go red, blue, and white, like the American flag. And, you know, stand in the background, salute as it waves and a bald eagle flies over. Gray would beat Toshiro, because the whole thing is that they both have immunities, or at least high resistances to cold and ice. But Gray can get stronger while fighting Toshiro, and from what we got from his fight against Invul, is he can integrate ice users' specific ice and then immediately add that onto his own. So anybody around that level, anybody within range of his level, within reasonable range, equal to or within reasonable range, he should have no problem beating, unless somebody somehow had the same powers as him. Wind or water dragon mode? Water. Sorry, Wendy. Wendy was actually originally supposed to be a water dragon slayer, and then they changed it to wind. I don't know why, but I don't know. I'm fine with both of them. Water would have been funny. She's just like, hang on, I gotta get back stamina, and then she just like pulls out like a water bottle, and she's like, hold on a second, guys. Give me a couple seconds. Just takes a sip. He's like, alright, I'm good. We got this. We're ready to fight. Cyrus, do you think Dorothy has a dream? I assume Dorothy's magic will somehow be a reference to Wizard of Oz. I think she'll have some weird ass magic. She's got a witch hat. I think she's a witch. I think she's from the witch crew. She's gonna have some weird classical witch thing. Maybe her thing is gonna be elixirs. Maybe she's like a crazy buff mage. That'd be pretty cool. That's why she's tired, because she works all the time. And she'll be like, alright, we need to, like, she's just a super support mage. And then it's just like, hey, I can't really fight, but here, and then she gives someone like Yami a potion, and his speed goes up like triples or something. It's, you know, something really pretty simple, but still pretty useful. If I were in the fairy tale guild, go to me first. Give me a second to think on that. I'd like to beat Elfman to try to figure out his strategy to get so yoked. What did that guy do to get so buff? Wind, water mode, wind and light, and fire. Oh god, you're giving me too many options. Oh, I don't. I told you. I told this yesterday. I don't like Luffy. He annoys me. Luffy annoys the crap out of me. Do you think? Well, the thing about Vanessa is she's mostly. She's just like a really good support and like backup. Because her fate manipulation is good, but she can't really use that to attack people. She could bind them, but as long as you dodge that binding ability, then you're fine. You can, she doesn't seem too durable as well. I don't think she's gonna. I would like to see what she does with like a. She'd actually be OP if she learned how to use Mana Zone, because then she could like drop her threads from anywhere within a range, and then bam, instant bind people. Or maybe she could like, read One Piece and learn some stuff from Doflamingo. Yeah, but she can, but it doesn't do damage. Oh, FIFA, you're doing unfair things. Yugi and Jaden. I really like Jaden. I would say if I was a Yu-Gi-Oh main character, I would be Jaden, but Yugi is so much better than Jaden. He's the best one. Best manga reading website, Manga C Online, definitely. Definitely Manga C Online. Easily. And hentai, yeah. I believe you. That might be the correct answer. I would like to be in like an interview, come out of Barnes and Noble, and they're like, where do you usually read your hentai, your manga? Like, well, I go to Ed Hentai. I read a little porn. Vanessa is interesting. I like her back. I like pretty much all of the backstory for the Black Bulls are good. Oh, someone sent me a message. Oh, I think it's a bot. Get out of here, bot. Like I said, the only one that seems to not really have any backstory is Charmy. Yeah, if Vanessa and Doflamingo had the same stat, she'd win for that fate manipulation craziness. And apparently Doflamingo never parasites when he should, so sucks to be him. What a dummy. What a foolish fool. I'm trying to read this. A snow-themed Grand Magic Zone. That'd be cool. We just did a water one. I mean, we didn't just do that. It was freaking 2 years ago. Yeah, I think I like underground. Snow one would be cool. Just like a big tundra. And yeah, Mercenary. Have you read Toriko, Kubo, or Toriyama? Kubo. I like Dragon Ball for the action, but that's about it. Because there's not really a whole lot of a story structure, and other than like the original early Dragon Ball, like everything after like Goku gets married is kind of the same thing. But I don't like a lot of his character designs. Kubo has a lot of cool character designs, and even though the arcs kind of get usually full of a lot of holes, his ideas are good. Have you seen it? Have we seen anyone? Yeah, there's a couple people. There's that chick who uses snow. There's a couple ice people. Fairy Tail is good without good work. Yeah, Fairy Tail is a. I don't remember the guy who did it. He's the same guy that did the soundtrack for Naruto. That did the Fairy Tail soundtrack. That dude is solid. The dude is super solid when it comes to making music for stuff. Super duper solid. Oh yeah, what was I talking? I keep getting distracted about what I wanted to say. Oh yeah, Mercenary, have you read Toriko? Have you read a series called Toriko? Kill la Kill is the best. I don't know about Kill la Kill being the best music. Kill la Kill did have some good music. I think that Kill la Kill is part of those series that it's never gonna get a sequel. Yeah, Toriko, the Ice Hell, that was a freaking crazy time for like a ice thieves kind of place within a series. That was really good. I was very happy at how that went down. Very entertaining. Yeah, I won't lose my way, Cornrow, don't worry. Neither. FIFA fan. Neither of them. Mainly because I don't know the first guy, and I don't like King of Lightning. Not a fan. I don't really watch any. The only review YouTubers I really watch anymore are like Yellow Flash, but he does like comic books. Ironically enough, he doesn't do manga. I don't even think he does anime, but whatever. There's one guy who used ice magic. I don't think he's dead. The guy who Zora fucked up used ice magic, but Zora didn't kill him. I don't think he kills. I think he just likes to, hospitalize. Do you think Bleach is also... No, I don't think Bleach is overhated. I think Bleach gets over-memed. Bleach gets memed a lot. I like Bleach, though. I find Bleach very entertaining. I find Bleach to be a series you could just sit back and get comfortable. Do you think Luck has... He doesn't have a god complex, he has a combat complex. He just really wants to battle people. He's obsessed with it. I like him. I think he's fun. How did you pick it? Arc of Embodiment. Like, that's like the most OP power. If you can just have Arc of Embodiment is something that even if you didn't, like, I want to go on adventures, you could literally just be like, I really just want to live. And like, bam, you could make a house on the spot. You can create a farm on the spot. You could create like your workforce on the spot, and just make all these things that really just benefit you. It was stupid that Rusty Rose never came back. Like, definitely one of the fuck ups. There's a things you like most about Fractal. I like the character interactions. I like the designs. I like a lot of villains. I really like Natsu as a main character. I like Lucy as a female lead. I thought they were great. Got me distracted. I was gonna say back when, back during the Grand Magic games with Ichiya. Back with Ichiya when he had the person in that rabbit suit before it was revealed to be Ichiya, and you had both of them just hanging out with each other. I thought it was gonna be Rusty Rose because I was like, who would be so mysterious that it's like their ace in the hole, right? They have to keep covered. Rusty Rose, someone who's a criminal, and someone who fits into the Blue Pegasus Guild as EF, because a lot of them are very, a lot of the dudes are very effeminate, and Rusty Rose was, it wouldn't be surprising if he was gay, so he kind of fit in there. He was a good spot, and then it turned out now to be him, and then he just never came back. Unless you count the scene for the anime they put in specifically for Rusty Rose. If I had to pick between Rusty Rose and Gremmy, hang on, it's not Grimy, it's Gremmy. Gremmy did more with it, but in terms of design, I liked Rusty Rose's design more. It's because Gremmy just, in terms of physical design, Gremmy was literally just a dude in a coat with long hair. Like, okay, meanwhile you had Rusty Rose, who was like this gray-haired dude with like Oakley sunglasses and a pompadour and a leather jacket. You just thought he was going to be a greaser. He looked like a, like you have like Bizarro stuff, like Bizarro Superman. He looked like Bizarro Johnny Bravo. Yeah, they're both pretty OP. Obviously, Gremmy is more OP than Rusty Rose, but still, they're both pretty cool. I couldn't have imagined how powerful Rusty Rose would have been if he was an end villain instead of someone who showed up like less than halfway through. If he was like a Spriggan 12, like the degree that his power would have gone instead, to have been like, oh, here, let me make this solar flare in your face. Good luck fighting after that, asshole. Thoughts on Giselle being a trap? I think it was confirmed that Giselle was a chick, Kyobi. I think it was. I think Kubo himself called Giselle a she. Byakuya versus Urza. Urza would win. Her meteor thing is ridiculous. Like her matching that meteor and then destroying it is beyond anything Byakuya did. And I want to say, like, I don't see the point in bringing Byakuya back after he got fucked up by Asnot, just to have him do nothing. They should have killed him because there was no point to bringing him back. What I look forward in the 100 Years Quest, I want to see how far all these characters have grown. Because it's been a year since the Alvarez War. Everyone should be stronger. We should be able to see like more advancements in their abilities. I want to see some of the ships either happen or don't happen. I don't want it to be left on cliffhangers. How much longer do you think Ash will get? Well, we're gonna see him like as his elf version soon, and that's gonna be pretty crazy because he's probably, in terms of firepower and just overall like combat skill, out of the Black Bolts, he's probably the number 2 until we see the vice captain, of course, because Vanessa has the potential easily to be above him, just because like how hacks her shit is. But as of right now, Gash is definitely more powerful. I don't. There's a thing about that, FIFA fan. I think if you said, "Hey, Mr. Mishima, what is your opinion on some of the people disliking your series?" And then he would probably open up his phone, go to his bank app, look at the millions of dollars he has, and then say, "Oh well," not care. I don't like. Do you really think he would give a shit? He's like, well, maybe they don't like it, but enough people like it that I'm a millionaire, so it doesn't really bother me. Like, why would it? And it's not like he did something ridiculous. Like, it's an enjoyable series. There's a pretty big following. I think it's like, it's in like the top 30 highest selling manga ever. And now that the sequel happened, it's gonna move up a few ranks. New For Gods, Ishikari Temsu. The only one that would really need to add a new one would be for God Serena, because Warred, was Warred dead at the end of the series? I don't think he died. I know Wolfheim and Hyperion, I don't think they ever got shown after that point, but Warred, I think he was fine. Yeah, I agree, FIFA fan. Anyway, I gotta close this up soon. I gotta go get my laundry. I'll probably go a couple more minutes. Appreciate you guys all turning out. Live streaming is pretty fun. I kind of like this. Eventually, you want to start bringing people on, start having other people. I'll have to learn how to do all that stuff. So much he doesn't care. Yeah, why would he care? Why would he care about people hating on stuff? It's not like he. It's not like something like, for instance, Rian Johnson, who did The Last Jedi, and it's not just that he did bad on it, he was rude. He's rude to people that don't like it. And there's a video where it's him years prior, and he says he likes making movies that are half liked and half disliked because he likes the controversy, which luckily that's not turning out well for him, because it doesn't look like he's going to get a Star Wars movie after this. Like, people like that, like, they're hated because they deserved it, not just because, you know, they have people have conflicting ideas. That movie, though, was a dumpster fire. You getting your poncho cleaned? I'm not Mexican. I've never been Mexican in my life. Every time Lucy, the thing about Lucy, that she ends up getting being the fan service character a lot, just because. But she's definitely competent and useful, and she's still stuck in that position at the beginning, where there is in some ways where it was like, these guys are gonna get in a fight, you can't do anything, so we're gonna just have you maybe do some like fan service like cleavage shots and like upskirts. But now she's like, alright guys, I'm able to do stuff on my own. Like, well, we're gonna let you do stuff on your own, but we still want to do some upskirts and shit. What planet does Fairy Tail take place on? Should still be Earthland. That's what they've been called. Earthland is what they've been really referring to it. But I can't remember if that was the name of Ishkar before they changed it. I think Earthland decided to make kind of like the overall thing. 'Cause people have said what in Earthland instead of like, you know, what on Earth. Yeah, I agree with FIFA fan. It's ridiculous. I think his final form will just be like a humanoid dragon. There's a bunch of really cool pictures on it. Kind of like it'll just be Something if you look, let me pull up a picture really quick. Something I noticed. Hold on a second. Let me pull something up that I think will be like the ultimate form. Because obviously Slayers and there's the human form, the dragon form, but I think the most powerful would be like a half between, a little bit less than it was in the Dragon Cry movie, where it's not like a humanoid dragon. I think it'll be like a human with dragon pieces on them. Let me show you what I mean. What I'm talking about. Let me just save this. All right. Let me add this image 3. It's at the bottom. There we go. It's like looking at this, the way that Eleftheria was, and how even though you can see kind of like the human side to it, you can also see the wings. You'd be able to maybe get like some horns. Maybe he's got like scaled arms, like and some like one arm's maybe a clawed, one is just in a hand. Maybe he's got the dragon eyes. And I think it'd be cool to have like their final form be like a merged between the two, and kind of be in this King of Lightning Slayer. I think you're funny. I think you're funny, eh? I think it'd be really cool to see like an in between a human dragon kind of like combo as the top for the series. It's his end game, you know. Other than that, like get Dragon Force and be able to sustain it. Like he dropped Dragon Force against Zeref, and then he did one attack, so we didn't get to see him go like a buff and then a long fight with the buff on. He just instantly went to putting it all into one attack. I want to see like a multiple chapter battle where he's still on Dragon Force, because he has true Dragon Force. He hasn't used it for a while. Who do you think would be? Think should be like? Well, they're all S class now. They're all pretty much S class. I don't think anybody's can deny them S class. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I don't know, Professor Hitomi. I do one with the Clem. I don't know if she cares enough to do a collab. I've asked her once. I don't think she's interested. Obviously if people go on her videos and say like, hey, do a collab with me, she would probably consider it. I think it's more of a more inviting of an idea than just being like, hey, come do something with me and not knowing me, versus like, hey, I like your videos, can you try and do a collab with this guy? I want to see you guys like converse and like swap ideas. If you guys, I'd be willing to, if people convince her to want to do a collab with me, I'm fine with it. And then I don't know what Professor told me. I'll look to see who that is later. How do you think his relationship between the sequel will be? I think they'll fully become the merge. What other types of mythical creatures do you think? I think they'll do a lot of classic types, like unicorns, manticores, griffins. I think they'll do a lot of really cool stuff. I think a merger of all Nauti's previous forms, including God Flames, Dark Flames, Planetary Flames. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool. Goku or Luffy. I don't know. If you include GT Goku, I'll take Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Super Saiyan 4 is awesome. I love Super Saiyan 4. Who do you think should be the next Magic Emperor now? I think that everyone alive, Merleona would be the best position, just because she's the strongest. Yami, I don't. She could easily come away from being head of the Crimson Lion if Fuegoleon ever woke up, but Merleona could easily become the wizard. I guess it'd be the wizard queen at that point, or probably still call her the king, since it's more of a position and not like an actual king. Anyway, alright. Would you ever watch? Yeah, Hitman Reborn. Hitman Reborn. I'm surprised never. I don't like the way it ended. It ended on a cliffhanger, and then it never came back. Like, what was the point of that? Why leave the series on a cliffhanger like that? What was the point? Have you ever wondered what a Black Clover and Fairy Tail crossover would be like? I think it'd be fun. I think they would. I think their groups would get along. I think the Black Bulls and the Fairy Tail Guild would do very well to hanging out with each other. I think they'd go on a fun journey. I think it'd be good. That's one of the reasons I wish that Black Clover was in Weekly Shonen magazine, not Shonen Jump. I think it'd be much cooler to do a crossover for those two. Alright, favorite anime fight. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm catching up with Overlord right now. Favorite anime fight. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Yeah, just ask me another time, Cornrow. I'll have to. I'll watch over some stuff and then decide. Do you think Clover should leave Shonen Jump and join? Yeah, I think he should join another magazine. No, it isn't. I don't think it's a ripoff. Other than the kind of layout of how the Black Bulls are kind of, the rowdy ruffians, kind of like the Fairy Tail Guild, they operate very differently. Like their characters aren't very similar. The closest characters really they have to being alike are Kana and Vanessa, but they got that drunk fun girl part, but they both have different stuff around them that really takes them different. Favorite anime movie: Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions. Definitely, it was amazingly done. It was very well animated and a great payoff. That was good. Definitely, I can say like favorite movie, anime movie. It was like consistently well animated the entire movie, like amazingly animated, really the whole movie. A lot of fun. I'd recommend it if you like Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna end the stream. I thank everybody for showing up. Yeah, 12. 12 is good. I think 12 is good for my numbers, for what I've seen other people have. Like I said, I'm gonna do stream. I'm gonna do normal. So hang on one second. Let me ask. QB, the thing about. Do you recommend me to watch One Piece? No. If you were gonna get into One Piece, read it. You might as well wait for One Piece to end and then read it. I don't know. You can if you want to read One Piece, that's fine. But if you had to pick between reading it and watching it, definitely read it. The anime has way too much filler. But the thing about Black Clover anime is it's a year-round anime season 1, so the budget is very experimental at this point. Apparently, though, the people who did episode 65 of Boruto is doing the Vito fight in Black Clover, which, from what I've seen, that fight in that Naruto episode or that Boruto episode was amazing. And so far, they've skimmed the budget around and just animated, put a lot of animation quality in the important fight scenes, which is, I think, if you're on a limited budget for a shonen battle series, that's really the best thing you should do. And anyway, so what I'm saying is, yeah. So this weekend, like I said, I'm gonna try and do an end of the week kind of wrap up discussion of everything that happened, all the chapters that came out, answer any questions, any theory videos that I put out throughout the week if anybody's interested. If anyone has any questions or just want to chit chat at that point. So yeah, it'll be sometime Saturday. It'll probably be Friday. I don't know what time it is right now, everybody. So imagine 4 hours from now, or 4 hours earlier from now, but Friday. Like just assume 4 hours ago but at that time, but on Friday. But yeah. So if you have any questions, keep them in mind. On Friday, I'll answer more. We can go over stuff. Yeah, but otherwise, thank you for showing up. I gotta go take care of my laundry, and then I'm probably gonna watch. I'm rewatching Breaking Bad, so I'm probably gonna watch a couple episodes of that. Play some Hollow Knight. Like I said, thank you very much. Bye, guys.